Just a lighthearted mom joke, Brady.
You did?
Yeah, you missed it.
My mom might know.
We got to shut the door probably.
Or you want to catch that?
Unless we want to get Omar.
Omar in here.
Young Omar. The whitetail set.
God damn, I don't want to go.
We could have gone.
When do I tell my wife that I lied to her about not hunting?
You and I could have gone to Pike County,
When?
Illinois. Right, next week.
Why aren't we going?
21st through 29th.
Why aren't we going?
I don't know. I just seem busy.
Considering my
You got a
kid is
kid coming?
due right then, I probably can't do that.
Yeah. You probably got to stick around.
But once that baby's born, I don't have to stick around.
What's the look Brady's going for here today with the hood up?
I'm a Sith Lord.
You couldn't be bigger nerd. A Sith Lord? What is that? Is that the guys in Lord of the Rings?
No, it's Star Wars.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I thought that was what's the Lord of the Rings guys that have the
Orcs?
No, they look like Dementors from Harry Potter, only they're Lord of the Rings version. They ride around on the black horses.
Oh,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
The
Yeah,
White
I know
Walkers?
Skinwalker.
The White Walkers? Isn't that what they are?
No, yeah.
You don't know the name of them?
No,
Brady
I can't right now,
Miller.
no.
You're disappointing me.
It's not the White Walkers?
No.
I think they're.
What is...
I don't know what a White Walker is.
I can't remember.
I know there's a White Walker thing, and it's like a monster of some kind in one of those shows.
It's not.
If I'm right and you're not,
Well, yeah. What's the bet? What's the wager?
I don't know. This is not.
I noticed we have a.
am I right?
A new
and you
scented
just can't
candle.
admit it?
Nope.
What are you searching?
I'm just on my computer.
You seem very like...
Don't make a
Intent.
White Walker.
That was a sad...
Oh, you're talking. That's a Game of Thrones.
Oh
Shit.
That's pretty close.
Yeah,
I was
I should have
close.
also known
I
that
thought
one as
I-
well, but I was all confused.
I was really confident that I caught him right
So
there.
I was listening to the radio the other day, and one of the
I was close.
you know,
I'll
like
take it.
you know, like morning radio shows, they have a couple like kind of entertainment portion of it. They got a couple DJs. So one of the questions is like, what is something that you feel like you don't know or you're not a part of that everybody else is?
Yeah.
And that was one of the things. Like I've never seen an episode of Game of Thrones. I
Me
feel
either.
like you haven't.
No.
But you knew that.
Yeah. I know a lot. Jon Snow, White Walkers or of some kind that are like monsters or
Brady,
like
have you seen
Dementors
Game
or
of Thrones?
something.
So
You have all the books. I know that.
yeah, I have all the books. I started reading all the books. So I actually didn't start watching it until just this last year, in 2022, around Spring Bear. I started watching it. And I
And
pounded
you
through
didn't know
all of
White
them.
Walkers?
I just spaced.
Is
It's one of those
it-
things where it's like you should know it, but you just get stumped.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You haven't seen an episode either.
I mean, I might have seen like a
Yeah, part
couple,
of
but
one.
no, I've never watched it.
Did your wife watch it?
No,
No,
but
I've
like
never-
it's a culture. It's a cultural
Yeah, I feel
thing.
like
so like
everybody-
people would talk about
That's
it. I'm
how
like,
Breaking Bad was for me. I didn't come to it until like
I
way
watched
after,
all of
and then I
that.
binged it. I watched all of it in
Yeah.
like a month.
one of the best shows ever on planet Earth.
Yeah,
that's the
hands-
thing that I was really proud of for a while, to say that I had never watched Game of Thrones. And then after watching it, I was like, whoa, I was an idiot. This thing's so badass. And then I bought all the books, started reading all the books. I paid for it all on Apple TV or whatever.
It was pretty funny the people that were calling in, just like the random things, like culturally the things that everybody has done or seen, that just some random one they haven't.
Yeah. Do you know back in the day, I did an article for Business Insider on Game of Thrones?
About hunting, right?
Yeah, it was about archery mistakes in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I saw
For
that. I remember
business
that.
For Business
Insider?
Insider, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Archery
It's
Business
a
Insider.
published
No,
author.
I have an author page on Business Insider talking about archery mistakes in Game of Thrones.
I don't see
That's pretty
the,
cool.
the correlation at all.
I know they just do like trendy things every now and then too. It's like other, news sources or whatever, just doing some trendy things on
Yeah,
the
like
internet.
GQ does.
Yeah, they do the
does
same thing.
Ranella on like hunting mistakes in movies or something.
Yeah, so it was
Yeah, I've
that.
seen
So
that
like
too.
I had never watched it. Like never had watched it. So I literally went and fast forwarded through the first entire season of Game of Thrones and didn't pay attention. I'll just so I could watch all the archery scenes, and then took screenshots and then wrote an article about archery mistakes in Game of Thrones season 1.
Are there archers?
Is it?
Is there a lot of archers in Game of Thrones?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Who's Legolas is
That's
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
That is not.
Nope.
But is there an archer in Game of Thrones?
I mean, there's a ton of archers in Game
Really?
of Thrones. Yeah.
Monty Python, that's the best.
No, dude, Breaking Bad. That's the one. If
Have you
anyone
guys-
hasn't seen Breaking Bad,
Have you watched Monty
you just
Python?
have to. Yeah.
And the Holy Grail?
Yeah.
I started watching that the other day with my youngest kid, and we got partway through, and I was like, "Oh wait, there's a bunch of sexual innuendos in this."
I've never watched Breaking Bad.
Freaking hilarious.
You've
You
never
haven't?
seen it? Brady,
Oh my gosh!
just listen. Please listen to me. Do yourself a favor. It's phenomenal.
It's so good.
Now, the only problem with that is I have never been able to drive through New Mexico ever again.
It
like I
changes your
just
whole
did.
perspective. That show changed your entire
everything about New
perspective
Mexico.
of the whole state.
I saw RV. It probably was like family just enjoying a great 3-day weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, definitely meth. And just immediately in my head, that's all I could think of. I'm like, that's definitely meth. I'm not going that way.
It's true. It does change your
Changes
perspective.
everything.
Yeah.
You got to watch it. It's
I don't
so
know if
good.
I'd be interested.
It's so good.
It
I
is
like
really-
like sniper movies, Navy SEAls,
You'll like Breaking Bad.
like
I'm telling you.
Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones.
This is far from those.
Willow.
What the hell is Willow?
What's Willow?
You haven't
Willow?
seen Willow?
I've never even heard of Willow.
Have you seen Willow? Oh, that'd be right up your alley. It's the same as like Lord of the Rings. I think they're redoing it actually. I heard rumor.
Willow? If it's up that alley, I can't do it.
Lady
I'll lose
Hawk?
focus.
No.
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 I have no idea. I've never even heard of Willow.
You never heard of Lady Hawk? Also kind of a night medieval movie where the woman turns into a hawk.
Like
Never?
Vikings.
It's like
Vikings
same
Valhalla.
thing. You'd love it, man. This is like classic 80s.
1988?
Yeah, 88.
Yes. I was 87.
I was
yeah.
9. So I was right in my wheelhouse.
Never even heard of it.
What about Lady Hawk? When was that made? What are some other movies? What's the one with the guy named Atreyu?
Dune.
No, not Dune.
Atreyu was one of my favorite bands in high school.
They're named after the
cool.
They're named after this character in a movie, the flying dog thing with the little kid.
Oh, that's a never-ending story.
Never ending story. Seen that?
Never
Man,
heard
you
of
got
it.
so much homework to do.
And I will not watch these.
Top was 85.
85.
Yeah. It's, I don't
Iron
think-
Eagle?
No.
I'm not watching any of these.
No.
Iron Eagle with what was the guy's name? I can't remember. It's a fighter jet movie.
That's cool.
F-16, I think.
Might watch that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Those are 86, 88, 92, and 95.
This was my wheelhouse. Those were the days,
You're a true 90s baby.
for sure.
No, not Commando.
Figures like
Oh yeah,
No.
Predator.
I've seen Predator.
Predator's pretty
That's
great.
pretty good. I do watch that on repeat a lot.
I've seen Predator.
so good.
Predator, Aliens, all that stuff.
Aliens. You like?
I like the Aliens. Yeah. I have the collector's edition
Yeah.
DVD.
Pull it off the shelf, DVD.
Have you been to Brady's house before?
No.
He has this big wall in his entryway, and it's just all kinds of books. And you look down through the books, and they're like a lot of this type of stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of.
Some girl on a date the other.
Not surprised.
They're either biology, like wildlife-based books, or like fantasy.
Or just total fantasy shit.
Yeah. Tons of Playboys too. It's kinda-
A girl I was on a date with like a month ago or whatever asked me, like, she's like, "Oh, you like to read?" I was like, "Yeah, I like to read." She's like, "What do you like to read?" And maybe something I'm interested in. Like, I guarantee you it's not at all. Like, yeah, they're just talking about like wildlife biology. It's Lord of the Rings stuff. It's literally all the Game of Thrones, Moby Dick, all these like crazy.
Have you read Moby Dick?
I actually got halfway through it last year, and I don't know why I stopped reading it. But I also have like a lot of like motivational books and all. But I like to read. I like to read just random stuff. C.J. Box, phenomenal author. Joe Pickett series.
I hate to read. Hate it.
Let's make
Have
time
you?
for it.
Did you? When you guys were kids, did you read like Huck Finn, Tom Sawyer?
Yeah.
Have you tried to read those as an
Maybe.
adult? So much harder.
Really?
Oh, dude, the language difference, the barrier between then, I don't know what it is, but I tried to read those as an adult, and I was like, holy smokes, this is way more difficult reading than I remember
Really?
it being as a kid. Yeah, it's just like the cadence, the way that it reads. I remember loving those as a kid. Say Summer of the Monkeys. Did you ever read that? I don't know if you ever read that. Same, those types of books. I've gone back and tried to reread them as an adult. I'm like, man, this is painful. Just the cadence, the use of language,
Yeah.
so much different.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't remember any of those books or like reading any books. Those are bad memories though.
Yeah.
It's when you got called out in class and had to read in front of everybody, like those huge embarrassing moments. I blocked all those out.
So you're telling. So I'm getting ready to go. Let's bring us back into hunting a little bit. I'm getting ready to go hunting.
Mm-hmm.
I have like literally 2 books picked out.
What
that
are
I'm
they?
bringing hunting: Ammunition Demystified,
Nothing.
Non-Bubba's
Nope.
Guide to Ammunition
To
and Camera-
reloading.
Yeah, it's like a 452 page like research paper book. It's
That-
like super in depth geeky.
Sounds awesome, Brady.
The Old Testament's the other one. Right?
And then I'm bringing Jack Carr's Terminal List. I'm reading that whole
Oh,
series
yeah,
right
gotcha.
now. So like you really don't go hunting and like pick out a book that you're going to bring on a hunting trip. Like you don't do that
Never.
when you travel to go
Never.
stone sheep hunting. You didn't.
No, I
bring a
did a
book for
bunch
that?
of I did a bunch of podcasts and I rewatched Eastbound and Down.
Because I literally have been.
Rewatched Eastbound and Down. I got all the way through season 3.
Who's
I got one
Eastbound
season
and Down?
left.
Danny
Danny McBride.
McBride. Have
It
you
is-
guys seen the side by side with him and Patrick Mahomes?
It's pretty good.
It's
really
pretty
good.
hilarious. Exactly.
It's pretty good. But yeah, man, I got through all 1 through 3. I have one season left, but now I'm back with my kids, so that won't happen for another 6 years.
Yeah.
You don't pick out books to.
I
bring on
do,
hunt?
yeah, sometimes.
Like,
when-
like airports and stuff. Like
Yeah, like when I went to Alaska caribou hunting, I bought a book at the airport. I read it twice. It was Quentin Tarantino's version of the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Huh.
I read that twice.
I just don't
I like
read.
the movie, so I wanted to read the book. Read the book, and it's kind of his own take. It's a little bit different than the movie, but I do from time to time take a book. I'm reading a book right now. I read it. What is it? Summer of the Fly. They're
You
making.
guys are so sophisticated.
They're making
man.
the movie of it right now. It's a Scorsese film. Yeah, I'm reading that right now. Something Flower Moon.
interesting.
Yeah,
I'll look it
I
up.
do. You don't ever?
No, literally never.
I'm,
like
li-
the
I'm
Eastbound
literally
Down
looking
approach.
forward to sitting in a tent, busting out one of these books. Like
Killers of the Flower Moon.
I've been reading a little bit of my Ammunition Demystified books. If you're a guy out there that likes to read about bullets and how bullets behave in the air, like all the data about bullets.
The 2 people.
So all 2
out
of
there-
you.
Like this book is really good. Like it's something I want to like keep referencing back again. I might try to read it twice. Like I have
What-
notes written down. I have like dog tags on the. Like I keep bending over the dog ears on the book. Like literally, I'm like writing all over this book because I'm just like taking notes everywhere as I'm reading it. It's super intriguing to me.
What's in that book?
Just literally how a bullet functions, how a bullet cartridge interacts, all the different dynamics about bullets.
Yeah.
How they just work, how they work in a rifle, everything about them.
Oh, gotcha.
Just tell me which one works the best.
You're not
when
gonna
you're
really
done
find
reading.
that. I just want to figure out like the super geeky details about what makes a bullet actually tick, like the ogive and the tip of a bullet. The boat.
Just build me a bullet once you learn all this. That works really well.
Oh, we're gonna get a CNC lathe in here and start like for building bullets. Oh gosh,
Do you have interest in that? Would you ever do that? You want to build your own bullets?
I have interest to get a
Machining?
lathe to like start machining like random gun parts or just fixing guns or rebarreling stuff.
Is that your retirement plan you're thinking?
It'd be fun.
Just have some in your garage?
I just like to geek out. I love to tear apart a rifle and put it back together
Yeah.
and fix it all up, make it better.
I have a great retirement plan.
What is it? Shooting whitetail out of a tree?
Just-
That's what I'm thinking.
Nothing but hunt. Like literally, that's it.
Yeah.
Like just travel south of the equator, get all that done, then come back here in the fall. Like just nothing but hunting. That's my retirement plan.
I think having a little piece of land that you could farm, that you could manipulate and manage for whitetail.
Yeah, it would be fun.
The
But
full,
what would be
a
more fun,
full
to go to New
season
Zealand
to
and
see it
Africa?
fall all the way through, and then like some of these guys are targeting a buck, building a herd, building bucks, managing it, and then shooting a buck. I think that would be so
So
satisfying.
I completely agree.
Yeah,
But if time was not an issue,
sure.
would you rather be hunting in New Zealand and Africa and then just come home and keep hunting? Or
I would like to do that, but
Yeah. That's what I struggle with
Yeah.
is like, that sounds awesome to do that and
Yeah.
have your own land and the whole setup and everything. But then that means I'm not going down there to do that. And
I like
just
the
not
idea of
stop
like getting
hunting.
out of bed in the morning super early and being like, oh, I got to go out and jump on the tractor and
Yeah.
till some land, plant, do some spraying. I don't know. I like the
Farmer John.
farmer. Yeah,
That's why I like looking at my
taking
dad.
a water turn.
Yeah. Gotta go turn on some water.
Yeah,
I'm like talking to my dad about his whitetail property, like all the stuff that he does, and like going out there all summer long, up there with my mom every weekend doing random stuff. Like, it does sound pretty intriguing.
Or just
I have a
hunt.
catalog of photos the whole time of bucks they've seen, sheds they picked up.
Yeah.
That buck needs to get older. Like,
It ain't going to happen, but I like the thought of it.
yeah, gotta be fun.
Hey, positive affirmations, positive thought.
Yeah.
Will it into existence.
What do you want to talk about today, Brady? Lorenzo?
Whatever you want.
We're going to talk.
I'm game for anything.
I want to dive in on literally everything on a topographical map.
You do?
I do.
I want to hear about GOHUNT's new topo maps. So it's good. It might be a little bit promo-y, which I'm okay with.
No,
I mean,
A little bit.
I think the biggest part was like use case on a topo map. I think
That's the
that's where
thing.
that's where the juice is going to be in this. But at the same time, you're going to talk about the new topo.
You
Obviously,
do got to talk
because-
about why we did it.
Yeah.
And then also I would like to hear because we took a poll, right? I saw that on Social Go Out. I saw you guys
Yeah.
talking about it down here. You know, what do people use, aerial imagery, topographic or hybrid,
Yep.
and why? I'm interested in knowing why. And I'd also like to hear like what you use, what you've used so far this year and why, and how you use maps, topo maps, hybrid maps, aerial imagery. So with that, should we hit a promo first?
Let's do a promo.
You want to do a promo?
Yeah, I'll do a promo. So we're talking about maps. So let's hit a promo that's going to involve you guys getting some maps in the field. So as you guys know, we're deep in hunting season, so a lot of hunting left. Research season's coming up. So if you got to, sign up for an insider membership, use promo code podcast. You can get all the research tools.
Podcast.
That was a nice little
How
accent
he
there.
said that?
Well, we're talking Midwest, and we're trying to talk about South and like all these different places. So I was trying to throw a little spin onto it. So promo code podcast is going to get you 50
How would
points
a
back
true
to the Don't Gear Shop.
Minnesotan say that?
I don't know if they
That's a
would.
good question.
Yeah, well, I'll think about it.
Okay, yeah. Promo code podcast can get $50 back to the Go Hunt Gear Shop. And then also, if you want a Maps membership or Explorer membership, use promo code podcast. We'll give you, what was it? 20?
What?
Podcast and Maps? 25, 20?
Points?
Yeah.
To the 29th.
50.
I don't know.
No,
what
I'm
it's-
talking about how many points you get through Maps promo code using podcast.
You get 20.
20. That's what it is. Yeah.
Normally 20.
Normally 20.
But right now,
If you
50.
catch it to the
50.
29th, yeah, you get 50.
gosh, I always forget all that. Should have mentioned that. It's the kicker. So yes, just use promo code podcast. Just say big, no matter what do you do on Go Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Use it. Get an insider membership. Get maps.
Part of this podcast was in request. I got a DM from a guy, and I don't know if he's new to hunting. I would assume that he was. I think a lot of times we have conversation, and we've all hunted for a while, and I think we probably overlook maybe just like some basic terminology and like basic, what I would say is basic at this point, just like usage of maps and how we use it in the field and why you might do the things that you do. So part of that was in request to him just to cover some basic terminology and some basic concept, I is what I would say around maps. So I think we'll try to cover that. Do you want to cover that first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do that.
So definition of a topographic map. What would you say a topographic map is?
Basically a 2D representation of the exact Earth's surface, what you expect to see on it from streams, roads, hills, all the elevations, points of interest.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, yeah, top-down view of what the land exactly looks like from the valley floor to the top.
Yep.
I mean, that's that's not the true definition. That's just
No, you hit it. Topographic maps, two-dimensional representation of the Earth's three-dimensional landscape.
that sounds way better than what I
I
just said.
should have answered because I was going to answer something really similar, and I had no clue. I was just drawn at straws there,
Yeah.
and it would have been really close.
Yeah.
I want to throw it back though. Like, I remember hunting with printed off topo maps all the time.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that was the thing
Mhm.
back in the day. Like that was the only way to really go out there and navigate. Even before mobile GPS units, and then we got mobile GPS units and all that topo. Like, so I learned everything I know about Western hunting through a topo map.
Where would you get them? USGS?
Yeah,
My
I
topo.
was.
On my topo? Mhm.
Yeah, and you can pick exactly where you wanted it.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
had
like,
subscription services for
regular
different
whip kit.
things. I used to have CDs. I guess were they CD-ROMs? They're actually called back in the day.
Net Geo.
What?
Net Geo, right?
I can't remember the source, but it might have been Nat Geo. Yeah, you can like plug in your computer, download all of it, look at everything on the whole United States. I think it was like
I still have a
Topo
bunch.
USA, I think it was called back in the day.
I still have a bunch. I bought either at the BLM or the Forest Service. You could go in.
Yep, I've done the same.
And they have those big drawers. It's like a big old thing of drawers with
Yeah.
individually named and numbered. And
So you guys know me. I didn't like going to do that, even though you can get them at like your Sportsman's Warehouse and all that stuff. I didn't want anyone creeping around the
to know
corner
what map you bought.
and seeing what map I am selecting out and grabbing, then going over there and be like, oh yeah, that's this region of this state or whatever. And
so
this,
were you shoplifting maps? Is that
no,
what
that's why I'm saying I wouldn't go to the store to pick up a map. I would print them off my own online, or I would order
Gotcha.
them. And I would make sure I didn't order them from a hunting-based website. I ordered them from a different area.
Just making your life so much harder.
Yeah, but then
you
I
ever
would
do
just
that now? Do you ever pull out a topographic map, printed map, and look at it?
No,
Large scale?
No.
The only topo map I have is I have a big topo map of Glacier National Park that I keep meaning to hang up in my house and frame. But I have all the trails I've hiked in Glacier because I've hiked like 90% of the trails, like legit everywhere. And I love looking at that map and seeing where all the mark-offs are. But like I do every now and then go back in this little box I have. It has a bunch of my old topo maps, and I have like X marks for different areas I've gone through. I have like, pen marks drawn through where I was actually hiking back in the day in Glassing, where I've killed some animals. Old like BLM topo maps. Like
Yeah.
it is kind of cool. I've saved them all throughout the years. And
I still like to look at them because it does give you a larger scale than what you can get maybe on your desktop or your phone. It is kind of fun just to look at a landscape, Every once in a while I'll break out a map.
I don't think I've looked at one since.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't think I have since like the modern, like smartphone
Yeah.
mapping.
Yep. What's your topo made out of? I mean, you've got made out of contour lines, right?
yeah, you got contour lines, index lines. So the contour index lines are the more bold lines.
Yep.
So the ones actually going to show you the elevation. So whatever it might be, 7,800 feet. Contour interval lines, those are the smaller ones in between the bold lines. So those, on GOHUNT maps, those are 40-foot
Yeah.
intervals between there.
And those can change
Yeah, they can
From
change across that.
20 to multiple hundreds.
Yeah, they could be looking at different maps, and you could be deceived, being like, "Oh, those interval lines, are
really gapped.
yeah.
Yeah.
but it could be a totally different scale.
It could be hundreds of feet.
Yeah, that's one thing you want to pay attention. That's why I always look at the index lines to see, what those are going to be, and then subtract the contour intervals in between it. But all GOHUNT maps are 40 right now. I think it might get more interesting to look at other maps that have tighter lines if you get like East Coast, Midwest type stuff.
Yeah, that's like 10. You want like those
That's when you might
10
want some finer details. But out west, 40's really
Ford's
nice.
pretty good.
As I was prepping for this, I found some interesting. And it's not necessarily like these are just like those aha moments. You're like, I think I know that, but it was interesting to read them. Just like some rules of contour lines.
Oh,
These are like your basics, but again, these are like cliffs.
yeah.
How can you indicate a cliff on a topo map?
I just look for really steep.
Stacked, right?
Yeah,
so the
stacked really tight.
closer the lines.
And if they're hill shading a little bit, look for some of that hill shading stuff
gotcha.
too.
So the closer the lines, the steeper the
Yeah.
elevation. This is one that this was like an aha moment for me. So your valleys, ravines, gullies, canyons, those kinds of things. Contour lines in a U-shaped pattern will indicate rounded gullies. V-shaped lines will indicate sharp valleys and gullies. So the steeper the V, the sharper the canyon. Is that what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
the deeper the canyon.
More slot canyon
Yep.
would be like a V.
Yep, and here's one that was kind of an aha moment for me. Do you guys ever look at your phone and you have it on topo, and if you don't zoom out far enough, it's hard to understand if you're looking at a valley or a ridge line?
Yeah.
So right? Have you ever had that happen?
Yeah.
So this is a little simple rule for that, and I probably knew this, but it was like an aha moment that I had. So. Ridges and spurs, contour lines are formed a pattern of V's and U's pointing downhill. And if it's a canyon, it'll point
Uphill.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if it's a V and it's running this way, essentially you're looking uphill.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking at it downhill, it's the opposite direction, right?
Yeah.
So it's running down. So
Makes total sense.
Makes
but
total
something
sense.
I didn't really realize at first. But
Yep.
now you're saying it. Yeah.
Yep. Peaks and summits. You have large circles, smaller circles. They're connected. That's the only time you'll ever really see contour lines that are connected,
Yeah.
Yep.
right? So contour line never crosses another contour line. So if you're looking at a contour, and you mentioned index, which is the thick one,
The thick
it's every
one, yeah.
fifth line, and
Yep.
you'll have the elevation printed on that line. Those ones are, as long as you follow that line across the landscape, in essence, if you were to walk that line, you would never change elevation.
Yep. And we just keep you going all around a big
Same
giant.
elevation across that. So if you're looking at the same line and you follow that across the topo map, you're in essence, you're looking at the exact same elevation, which again makes common sense. I get it, but it's like when you're looking at it, you're like, okay. Yeah, and then your adjacent contour lines are separated by a constant difference in elevation. So just a couple simple rules. Saddle contour lines will form an hourglass shape with rising contour lines on each side. So again, common sense. You think a saddle, the shape of a saddle. If you look
Like a
at a
horse saddle.
topo map, it looks like a saddle, like what you know as a saddle. It looks just like a saddle.
A horse saddle.
A horse saddle, right?
Yeah.
Same with a bowl or a basin.
Yep.
Same thing. It looks like a bowl or a basin as you're looking at a topo map.
Yeah, you can easily tell a saddle difference from a bench. They're pretty much kind of in the sense the same thing, except the saddle is going to be on a ridge line where a bench is usually, somewhere else down a ridge. It could be a bench, but
Yeah. So we kind of covered some basics, and I know those are probably for most people. Maybe you're thinking like, that's
Yeah,
just,
no shit, dummy.
no shit, dummy. God, I had another one here that I was like, just like kind of an aha moment. I'm trying to see if I can find it, but oh yeah, it was interesting. So sometimes, and again, I mentioned peaks, right? So you've got a round. So if you're looking at a round contour line and it connects at both sides, you're also a depression. So like a low point, you may be looking at the low point, and at that point you can look at the direction of the canyons coming up or off and the shape of those to tell whether you're looking at a depression or a peak. Yeah, and those are all just like little topo map things. But how are you guys using? You said in the survey that you were use topo most.
Satellite.
no, I said I use satellite. I
Who
use
said
satellite.
topo? Somebody said topo.
Jared said topo.
Yeah.
But Jared is
he's old.
military. Well, old. And he's straight up military.
Right.
And I mean, topo is the most detailed
It's
if you
the
know
most
how to
detailed.
use it.
Yeah. I say between all the options you have, I'm a satellite first, but I use topo probably a lot more once I'm trying to navigate around the area or trying to look at stuff, but I like satellite to know what the vegetation looks like, where the trees are going to be at, where the spots I can go through the trees really easily. Like I'm using it for navigating a lot, but like actual hunting stuff though, when I'm in the field, topo is heavily used for me, used all the time.
Are you skipping back and forth between
I'm skipping back and forth for sure.
you?
I'm a hybrid person.
Me too.
Okay.
I
So
like hybrid the most
Me
because
too.
it's
All right.
both worlds in one view.
So were you in the meeting when Brady? You weren't here, were you? When I mentioned that I use hybrid, and he was
No.
like, "What did you
No,
say
I was
exactly?"
hunting.
Yeah, I think he's like, "You're full of shit," and I'm going to tell you why.
yeah, so I want to have a debate.
So I was saving that for this podcast because I want to hear why you think that's bullshit.
Okay, I want to have a debate with both of you because both of you like hybrid. I like topo. All
Bring
right?
Shake and
Okay.
bake.
And bake.
All right, two on one. But I'm going to win.
Okay, let's
Okay.
hear it.
So you looking at a hybrid map. So basically what a hybrid map is for people who are listening who might not know is basically just the exact same thing as topo lines, all the contour intervals, index lines merged onto satellite imagery.
Overlaid satellite imagery.
Overlaid on satellite imagery. All right. What does that look like to you? Well, to me, it looks like I have.
Incredible.
To me, it looks like I have.
So good.
It looks like I'm looking through a bow sight with 15 pins, and I'm all confused of which pin to actually look at because I'm trying to see what is behind there.
My
Okay,
bow does have 15 pins. Now what?
You're not
complete-
getting a clear picture of exactly what you're looking. You're looking at a mashup of too much information. So too much information is making it harder to really see what you
You're
want to
getting
do.
the best of both worlds
No,
because
you're- no.
the use of a topo map is to give you a 3D perspective of
2D.
You're looking at a 2D and
Yep.
you're using the contour lines to give you some perspective of what that looks like in 3D.
Yep.
Okay, but what you are missing is the advantage of aerial imagery. So now you've laid one over the other, and now you have a 3D view of what the landscape looks like,
I get
plus
it.
the
I get it.
vegetation.
I get what I'm
Exactly.
saying. It's literally too much for what you're trying to soak in the moment. Okay, now here's another thing. It's going to be a strict shameless plug, and I hope I explain this correctly because in my head it sounds phenomenal. Like it sounds just baller right now. All right,
Okay.
I'm going to drop
Let's
some
hear
nuggets
it.
on
Let's
you.
see it.
So the reason why you're using that before the satellite and hybrid, because you did not have a quality topographical map. You're using the old school USGS topographical map. Now with GOHUNT topo
wait,
map,
you said you use aerial imagery more. Why?
I said earlier, I like to see the trees.
Could throw him off his game.
You just
in the
literally
middle of his
interrupted, you
pitch. I love
interrupted my
it.
game-changing point here.
You use it so you
Strategy.
can see vegetation. You
No,
can
but
see
here- stop.
openings,
Stop.
clearings.
Let me finish my
And
rant.
this, ladies and
Let me
gentlemen,
finish
is
my
how you
rant.
debate somebody. Throw them off in the middle of their
Let me
pitch.
finish my rant, okay? We
Fake
now
news.
So you guys are hard to debate with.
I'm pretty sure somebody won a presidency this way, and it was awesome.
So you want to see both, but you not have a clear topo map that can actually do both. GOHUNT now has a topo map, okay, that shows you custom hill shading. It'll show you all those steep areas. It'll show you clearly where the water is. Let me keep going. It'll clearly show you where the cliff bands are. It'll clearly show you where the rocks and where the vegetation is.
Yeah.
So that's
To
that's
a point.
So that's why now this is very brand new. So a lot of people haven't been able to use it yet. Using GOHUNT's topo, you can go from topo to satellite. You have clean view on topo. You have clean view on satellite. So both two different tools.
But you've got to go back and forth.
You have to go back. So what?
And you have that process of like orienting yourself when going back and forth. Whereas if you just use the hybrid, you see both.
I know, but it's literally using topo in a clean view and switching over to satellite view is way more easier to use in my opinion because you have again clean.
Well, okay.
Clean is easy.
So here's where I'm at with this.
What's better than 2?
3?
One map to
Yeah.
do all.
Yes.
It's-
One map to rule them all.
I get why you guys
For
like
you
it.
in your game of whatever Lord of the Rings.
Yes,
One map
You-
to rule them all. And it's hybrid.
And it's hybrid.
I get what you're saying.
Topo's pretty sick. I agree. The
I
new
do
Topo's
appreciate the Lord of the
amazing.
Rings reference.
Here's-
One ring to rule
I
them all.
tried. See,
Yeah.
now I got you on my side. This is how it's done. ladies and
I
gentlemen.
get it. I do get it. But when I'm looking at both of those, it's just a lot of information. And okay, remember too, I wanted to explain why I like a topo map more than I like sometimes satellite and hybrid. Mm-hmm. Remember, I am really colorblind.
Okay.
So you start stacking in
Sounds
all
like
those.
a personal problem.
Yeah, it is. Like, what else would it be?
Deal with it, bro.
So, so you get all these colors stacked on top of each other, and sometimes it's really hard to see in my eyes. Not saying you're perfect, Trail. All the details, and so it's hard for me to look at a satellite imagery and see what's a valley and what's a ridge line just looking at it. And so that's why a topo really helps me because I can switch over it. Where I get the point, then the hybrid, you could counter argue my thing and say, yes, it's all there. You can see it all easily, but to me, it's just a lot to process. I want to see specific reasons why I'm looking at something. That's why I don't know.
Topo is better at giving you perspective. I agree.
Yeah.
And it's better than hybrid for sure than giving you 3D perspective, right? But I still end up using hybrid.
Let me take a shot at this. Okay. This is like that question. If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, you could only hunt one animal for the rest of your life. That's not going to happen. Okay. If it did, that's some weird fucking world that you got to deal with for a different reason.
It's pizza
But-
and elk. Just kidding.
There we go. I had pizza for lunch and dinner yesterday. It was a phenomenal day.
Patty.
Moving day. Finally finished
Can't beat
everything. That was a little sidebar. So back to it.
I'm
So we don't. No one has to choose one, right?
Nope.
We're all just talking about like the starting point. Like my phone, my map is on hybrid. That's just my starting point. Okay. And it's because what's better than 2 references of maps? 1, right? So it's just 1, and I get to see vegetation at the same time I'm seeing elevation and which ridgeline and drainage and this and that I want to go and where the vegetation is better, all this stuff. But the beautiful thing is you do have more than one option. It's just the one I start with because it gives me both reference points in one view and I'm not constantly switching over. And then when you get to points where you do switch over. And I switch to just straight topo, and especially now with our topo, and that's why we built it, is because you are right, like those old school USGS topos,
show
they're just
everything.
they're not that good.
And that's why I think our topo bridges the gap to you could go back and forth now because our topo is showing you a lot more information than a normal
Correct.
topo because of the custom hill shading.
And it is
You got everything else on top of it.
Yeah.
It makes things all the lines pop a little bit more.
And it is a shameless plug, but I don't give a shit. That's why we built it. Literally, is for this case. It's because that's like the USGS is like a total generalization of of Topo, right? Ours is very hunting specific and very hunting centric for all those purposes. But the satellite thing, when you're looking at satellite, just plain satellite, when you want to look at just vegetation, like if I'm looking at an animal that's bedded, or if I'm looking at, 2 meadows over and I really want to make sure I'm on that meadow where I'm going to drop a pin that I'm going to start hiking to. Like, yeah, I go to satellite.
You
because
just straight satellite, no
that
hybrid.
that one thing. That's all you care about is that one reference.
Yep.
So yes, I use all three. But when you are generally hunting and you don't have a specific use case yet, why not have the 2 in 1?
What I heard,
That's my pitch.
What
That's
I
my
heard,
pitch.
what I heard was that he would use that, but he's colorblind.
No, I don't like.
What I heard is we won.
I don't like clutter.
Isn't that what you heard? What I heard him say is that you should use probably hybrid more if you're not colorblind.
Do you mind making sense with the pitch here?
I love what you
When
said.
when you don't have a specific, like, I'm going to drop through this canyon, let me go to Topo and see what it looks like.
It's interesting. I actually use a little bit different. I would say I don't know if I want to say it because it might give him a little ammo, but I typically start with Topo. Once I get kind of a good understanding of what I think it looks like, then I go to hybrid, and I would say I use that.
You're talking like hike in and all that stuff.
I use that
agree.
almost
But
exclusively.
I'm talking like you're on a ridge line, you crawl out of your tent. I'm on hybrid until I find like, okay, I want to drop through this canyon and over the next saddle. I'll go straight to hybrid. And then if there's an animal that I glass up, it's straight to satellite. And it's like, okay, what ridge is he on? Like, I want nothing but visual to look at.
No.
So did I win?
No, I would say no
He
one.
said
No one in this conversation.
No.
No one in this conversation wins.
It sounds like we
No
did.
one ties. You guys can think you win. I
I
think I win.
if you're listening to this podcast, you should drop a vote. I want to
Shake
hear a
and bake.
vote.
Okay.
Who won this debate?
I would have won if you guys didn't interrupt me.
That was
That's part
part
of
of
the debate.
strategy.
I was going.
Have you ever done debate? Did you do debate in high school?
I'm not a debater.
Master debater.
Yeah, I did debate.
Yeah, you did.
Brady is
Yeah.
single.
Yeah. So vote. I want to hear a vote. Who won?
No one got my joke, but that's cool.
I got it.
See, I'm just trying to go back and wrap my head around that. I get what you guys are saying. I do. I'm trying to fully put myself in your shoes.
We convinced him to cross
No.
party lines right
I
here.
would honestly though.
But though, like I said, looking at satellite for one purpose, looking at Topo for one purpose. I like the 2 cleaner methods. It's like why I carry certain optics and rather not doing anything because that's sole purpose is one freaking thing to find an animal. My rifle then is sole purpose is to kill. I'm not going to combine, like it'd be unsafe to combine those two. That's a bad example.
Mapping and navigation. Mapping and navigation is like there is that general use, and then it gets very specific, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I like that 2 in 1. I'm constantly on hybrid.
And here's the beauty, though. Like you said, we do not have to choose.
You don't have to choose.
That's why we give you all the options.
But elk and pizza, if that was the one to go.
That's
there.
it.
Maybe sandwiches and pizza.
I do like a good sandwich.
Maybe sandwiches and pizza, or just sandwiches and elk.
Sandwiches, pizza, and elk.
There we go. There we go. Honestly, though, so listening to you talk and like thinking through those use cases, the ones that I was just saying, it almost seems like there is a difference of elk hunting. So you're probably coming from deer hunter mindset just because that's who you are, and I'm coming at it from elk hunting, and I'm sure you are too. Because there's a lot of like general navigation elk hunting, a lot more so than
you're moving
mule
country
deer.
a lot.
Yeah, a lot more so than mule deer. And mule deer is glassing point,
Yep.
all visual go. So
Yeah, I want glassing points. I want kill spots.
satellite does make sense for that.
It does.
Not telling you you're winning. I'm just.
I know.
It's interesting the mindset of use case going into it, like species of use case, kind of almost dictates
So
it.
do you ever use hybrid on like a web-based GOHUNT maps?
No, I don't actually.
Fine,
Yeah,
guess
I
it
do.
Win towards me.
No, I don't. I go Topo to hike in, like what I'm picking out.
Because
And
that's
then I go to
That's
satellite.
interesting. I don't use
I don't-
it
I
really.
don't-
that's
I
why I
don't
wanted
use
to bring
the
it up.
desktop either. I
No,
almost
I
always
don't.
just use it in the field.
yeah, I've never heard of anyone say they use hybrid on the computer.
Yeah, I don't.
We have the option.
Sometimes, but not often.
like thinking
Is it
through.
easier just to switch between Topo and web or Topo and satellite on a computer? That's why people just will switch in the field you want it in one.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I just thinking back on that New Mexico, the one I just did. I didn't do any in hybrid. It was all Topo, like where benches this way. I want to go to this ridge, all that stuff, and then it was satellite imagery on picking out like the spots I wanted to hit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Give me a use case. I want to hear a story. Give me a story using Topo and how you used it.
Well,
Do you have one?
Yeah, Topo I use all the time. I just explained that
Yeah.
in hopefully enough detail to win this competition.
I don't think you won,
Nope,
but
definitely don't win.
I probably got too heated.
Threw you off your game.
Yeah.
Made you emotional.
Okay. Talking about all these other movies I had no clue about earlier. And
I was
just kinda
hoping
lost
you'd
my
drop
train
an
of thought.
F-bomb in that one.
He almost did. I
you
feel like he almost did.
You know you've made it when Brady just
Drops
gets so
an
fast he drops an F-bomb, he throws it in there.
Yeah. So how I use it in the field, I'm not like navigation's pretty basic. Using it to like avoid cliffs and all that. That's very basic. But I mean, I probably shouldn't say it's basic, but I assume because I use Topo all the time for that.
Mm-hmm.
But the way I really use Topo though is when I'm glassing and I find an animal I want to go after. I'm instantly then switching back and forth, satellite to Topo. I am looking exactly where that animal's at. This is where, again, if I'm in the field, we're going to drop shameless plugs in here. I'm using the rangefinder tool to literally, I'm ranging with my regular rangefinder, use the rangefinder tool, dropping a pin exactly where that animal's at.
I use that a lot.
And so
Don't you think this has been like honestly one of the biggest advantages in our day and age, like in our time frame,
game changer.
to allow you to be more successful?
Yeah, before
100%.
I honestly don't know if there is another tool that exists. Gear,
Without question.
I'm talking like any gear, long range rifles.
Yeah.
I mean scopes, the whole nine,
Without
optics.
a doubt, that's
I would
the
say
case.
that this probably hands down a map on your phone that you can manipulate, move, look,
Base
drop
map
points.
differences, everything crazy.
All the things you can do with the map is pretty key when you're out there. The animal's always going to have an advantage because they know it's like back to the hand, but we're trying to learn it, and that's why I think a map's going to give you a little bit more advantage to, learn it that you're not out there every single day with an animal. You're just there for that short period of time, so you need those extra mapping tools. But that's why I like that rangefinder portion. Like I said, I'm dropping that pin exactly where that animal's at. And before it was hard because you always had to do a different measurement with a rangefinder and try to roughly drop it. But that's why here again, I go clean view topo, clean view satellite, because I want to see the exact same tree I'm trying to mark. So the example I want to give is when I was moose hunting.
Let me stop you real quick. You see an animal.
See an animal on a spot.
You are in aerial imagery first and dropping a point.
Yep, first I'm satellite imagery.
Okay.
Because so I'm glassing that animal. So an example for my moose, spotted the moose. I referenced over there. It was actually too far. I still could use rangefinder tool, but it was really far away. But I use satellite a lot more. Saw exact tree this bull was at. And the great thing was this bull was in like a little meadow. And I was able to figure out exactly where this meadow was at. And I was actually seeing tree line coming out into the meadow. And then it was a big tree in the middle. So it was like a pretty picture perfect area to try to mark it. But I was able to look in and zoom in on satellite imagery. And this is why like high quality satellite imagery download for offline use is really, really great. I could see that exact tree that bull was near. So I dropped a pin right there on satellite. So now I have a pin exactly where the bull is. I'm not planning on killing him tonight. Like there's no time for me to get down there. So I switched back to Topo right now. So I'm like, all right, the bull is there. I want to try to kill him tomorrow. He's in this little area. He's probably going to stay there. Rut's not going on yet. They're not chasing cows. So now I'm switching over to Topo. And this is why Topo is so powerful. Now I'm analyzing all the different terrain features around where that bull is to try to find an elevated spot where I could potentially glass from and then also shoot from. So the shoot from thing for me, since I'm a rifle hunter, is pretty important. So I do a lot of mule deer hunting too. So I know where the bull's at. Hypothetically, if you stay in the same spot, where can I find a high point to glass into there without getting too close, not getting too far away either, to take a shot? So then I'm switching back over to satellite again because now I need to analyze that terrain. And this is where I like it being clear because I am zooming in really close. And sure, when you zoom in close, those lines get spread out, I can see a little bit more. But now I'm trying to see, okay, is there vegetation here? Is it alders? Is it like blueberry brush? Is it giant pine trees? Or on that ridge, does it look like it opens up a little bit more? And that's where it was fucking phenomenal.
There we go.
There we go.
To have
Made it.
To have great, you got me. To have great satellite imagery and combo with everything else on maps. Because I was able to legit find a spot where I could kill a bull. And once I dropped down in there, then the whole next day, didn't kill that first day, but the following day that bull finally came out, I killed on that exact same fucking knob.
There we go.
Where
Again.
I put on there.
Brady reminds me of my childhood with the F-bomb because my sweet mother is devout Catholic. We call her Mother Teresa quite often. She's just, but when she said the F word, shit was real. Like that's when you knew the
I
household.
hold it for a while, but like
That's when you knew the household was going down.
Yeah.
That's with Brady. Brady's the same
time
way.
to
He
fight a
uses
hidey
it so
hole.
sparingly.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, shit's real. He's
But
making a point here.
That's what makes me so excited about
That's the way curse words should be used for emphasis.
Not for me.
But it's like,
Could be.
sure, could have I used other things to kill that bull? I have general hunting instincts as well. I could look at the area and be like, I'll get to a high knob down there. But being able to take it from topo to analyze all around, because there's other knobs too. So when I'm saying I'm looking at those knobs, so now I have the bull waypoint mark to jump back, and now when I have these knobs picked out, so based on all the contour lines and index lines going up, I can tell it's a knob, it's a ridge line coming over, potential spot I can shoot from. Now I'm taking a line measurement tool on my phone, line measurement tool from those knobs and going over to that bull. Is that knob over here too far to shoot from? Oh, that's 1,000 yards. Yeah, it's probably should not shoot bull moose at 1,000 yards. You need to find somewhere closer. All right, you could say like, oh, just drop down in the valleys, come up on this bull, try to do some moose calling. Well, these bulls ain't rutting. Like, yeah, it's not going to work right now. We're not going to do stupid things and try to kill a bull. I want to kill a bull with my rifle on top of a knob like I would mule deer. So I was able to go around, measure a bunch of different areas. Valid. All right, measure all those little spots to figure out, okay, this knob that's right near there, it's in my total kill zone. Like, that's basically a kill box. Anywhere that bull shows up, he's dead. Like, I can literally, like, I'm trying to be like negative towards the animal, but like I can literally, this is all in my kill zone. Like, this is totally doable for me anywhere the bull shows up. And that's why it was so key, because we don't know where the bull's going to be. Yeah, he was at that tree out in the meadow one evening. He could be in the timber 200 yards away. He could be in another timber spot, but like we had such a good vantage point right there. We could see a lot of country. So that's where I like the topo as well, because I can see, okay, it's a ridge line coming out. I can look to my left. I can look on front, look to the right. I can look basically like a 270 degree area around that knob. And then going back to satellite, checking out with the vegetation, like, is there a lot of trees? And then using satellite and topo combination of that, when Brian and I dropped down in there, I was able to look back on that ridge line a little bit, and I was actually be like, hey, there's actually a little flat spot. I could see a bench on top of that ridge, and we put our camp there. Like, we camped really close to the bull, just keeping like very minimal noise down, because like otherwise you camp on top or you camp down on the bottom. And a lot of the points when we were in the bottom, that's where the fucking brown bears were. So we're like, let's just avoid the brown bear path where we see all these brown bear tracks everywhere and they're going all the time, because we actually ran into a bear as we were making the stock on them. Like, let's avoid camping down there, even though it's flat, it's always a lot of water. Let's camp in that little ridge line. So topo, satellite, going back and forth, I was able to not only find a shooting spot, mark the exact location of the bull, kill off that exact location, but also find a camping area. I use those a lot, just back and forth, marking everything I see out there just to make it easier. And then navigating down to get on that stock, we used topo the entire time, because I wanted to find where those stacked lines weren't so nasty. I knew we were going to go down a creek bed, because this creek bed was a big avalanche chute that starts up on top. Well, I didn't want to jump into it too soon, because it looked like it was cliffed out, because the lines were super stacked. It was basically a nasty looking color. So I was like, okay, we're going to go and avoid that area to drop into that creek, because we couldn't go opposite of the creek because the alders and willows were just so tall, like we had been fighting brush. So the creek was actually blown out enough from the avalanche that it was a clear path. Yeah, there were some cliffs down in there, but I knew, okay, eventually we get down to a certain point, the lines are actually a little bit more gapped out, and I know it's probably doable for me based on my previous experience of what I know I can navigate down safely in cliffs. So topo is so powerful when you get on the field.
I think it's worth covering like use case scenarios, just like you laid out. I mean, as you're talking, I'm thinking about, I killed a bull in Colorado, and I'm thinking through the whole process as you're talking. I wasn't really thinking about it as I was doing it, but I'm doing it. Same types of things, I'm glassing up a bull mid-morning. I watch him bed. He's got 6 cows. And where I was at, like, you really couldn't, like, if you just looked at the aerial imagery, there wasn't, kind of in that area, there wasn't really enough like topography to like tell on aerial imagery. It was relatively flat where he was bedded, and I was going back and forth and just like looking, based on the spread of the topo lines. I'm like, okay, yeah, he's most likely, bed right here. And I'm also looking at aerial imagery, but a lot of the area was like burned, right? So everything looks the same. So it's not like I could pick out a tree, that he was bedded by. It was pretty much, just a monoculture. It was just all burned. And, but I was able to use topo and look at the lines, the spread based on like, okay, he's bedded right here in this little bench. And then same thing, pull up topo, find my route, find the ravine, work up the ravine, same as you, drop a point, work out across this face and just work right towards where I thought he would be. And then, you pop up and you're like, he should be right there based on my map. And I'm looking at it on my phone. Oh, there's a cow.
Yeah.
You stalk in and I understood. That's the other thing is like the advantage I would say of like using those maps while you're out there is like before, I'm never surprised by topography when I get into a location to potentially get a shot. It's not like I pop up on a hill and I'm like, oh shit, there's a ravine right there. Didn't know that was there.
Yeah.
It's like I knew it was there because I saw it on a map. I knew exactly what the landscape was going to look like before I even got there.
Yep.
Yeah. Use as much and can't use it.
It's not in Canada.
Not in
sadly.
Canada, right?
Sadly, I wish I
Gotcha.
could have. It would have
Gotcha.
been very helpful, like very helpful. But yeah, not available up there.
How'd you use it in New
Yeah.
Mexico?
Yeah.
Mexico, we used it quite a bit, especially on my tag, just because my tag didn't really have any outwardly high point where you could just glass. It was a lot of live, thick, dark timber, so it was a lot of just pounding timber. But it was real broken country. Like there wasn't a ridge line that just would run north, south, or east, west for long ways. It was a lot of like broken kind of like U-shaped or V-shaped ridge lines. And I used Topo a lot to help just navigate through saddles so we could hit the next drainage and the next ridge and the next drainage and kind of, being able to.
Let me stop you real quick. You just said saddle.
Yeah.
We talk about saddles. We talk a lot about recognizing saddles on a map. Like, why would anybody give a shit about a saddle?
A lot less vertical over the long period of time.
Right.
Those long day hunts. I mean, granted, I was hoping to hunt bugling bulls. They would bugle very sparingly, but still, like it was just live dark timber, so you can't glass it anyways. So it's like, okay, to hit this next, drainage with meadows in the bottom. Like I don't want to climb an extra 300 feet of elevation if I don't have to, because we're going to do it again here in 5 minutes when we go to the next one.
Right.
So it's a way to just continue to cut off and manage vertical gain and loss, to hunt as efficiently as possible.
It's a path of least resistance.
And the animals use it more than we do. I mean, that's all they use.
Whether you're a human or an elk or a deer, I mean, typically they're
Saddles are a huge thing.
Yeah, they're trying
huge
to
pinch points.
conserve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you guys being elk guys, and then once you continue with the other thing, do you ever utilize saddles to hunt off of? Like, do you ever set up a little ambush thing, or like I'm going to call from here because I can maybe potentially get bulls from either basin to come up and they're going to come use the
100%.
saddle, so I know I'm going to get a shot?
I would stop at the top of every saddle, call off both sides, sit, eat, drink, just like kind of a break point, just to see what's going on. You're in the best spot. If you're in the saddle, you are in the best spot. Just take a moment, take a breath, see what happens.
I think it becomes really important, even potentially more important late season, because you've got bulls that are post rut.
Yeah.
They're trying to conserve energy, and if they have got to move from one drainage to the next drainage, they're going to try to conserve the most energy they can because they're post rut, their body conditions down, so they're going to hit typically the lowest point of least resistance. So they're going to conserve energy. They could go through a saddle.
And just the type of landscape I was in too is on either side of saddles was typically pretty rocked out, like pretty clipped out. You've been in there. Pretty like oddly cliffy country where you wouldn't necessarily think it because it's all under live timber canopy. So just hitting those saddles it was a big deal for us to make sure we weren't clipped out and didn't have to go in a direction we don't want to, or we didn't have to, so we could get into the next drainage. And so it was just, I was on basically, because there was nothing to look at really for satellite imagery. It was all live timber canopy. So it was in Topo the entire time, and it was specifically to manage elevation gain and loss to most efficiently hunt like this box of area I wanted to hunt.
Trail knows where I'm going with this. That's another win for Topo and not hybrid, because you didn't really need to see it because you're in the canopy.
True. No question.
Damn.
There's a win for that one, because I wasn't on hybrid at all, because hybrid didn't matter. Actually, there were a couple like meadow openings, which ended up being where the elk were.
It might be good to look at, like, if you're in a beetle killer area, to pop it on every now and then. Maybe there's a beetle kill.
There was no
over the
beetle
canopy.
kill, but there were like these kind of like more spaced out meadowed areas. I wouldn't say like a true meadow, but like the canopy would break a little bit, and there would actually be some like grass from sun hitting the ground in those areas. But it was all for just the most efficient hunting, so the elevation gain and loss.
So did you ever look at it and like say, hey, I'm going to try to stay in this elevation line and like
Oh,
have
yeah.
a little breadcrumb turned on? Like, 'cause
We did.
You know, you have to navigate over there eventually. So you don't want to all of a sudden start dropping too low and all of a sudden you play your map like, crap,
Yeah.
I'm like
Yeah.
way off my mark.
We
So
would-
you can use Topo to stay on.
Yep, those like
point.
horseshoe ridge lines.
Yeah.
You know, we would drop like a third off the top and just kind of roll it, and I would just be on that contour line and just, or that index, whatever one is
Yep.
the thick one, and just kind of like roll it and go.
You hear people talk a lot about basins. Like, what's a definition of a basin, and why would anybody care?
That's where the animals like love to live. That's where food and water is.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
a basin basically just a big depression on the mountainside that has it's kind of like a bowl. Half of it's, you know, covered on the mountain.
Yeah. A lot of times the top end of a canyon
Yeah.
open up into a basin, and you'll hear people talk about basins.
Yep.
Especially, it seems like high country mule
High
deer.
country,
People
yeah.
talk
Absolutely.
about basins all the time.
High country basin's a big deal.
Yeah. It's that, and then I never really thought of, I mean, I'm dumb, I guess, but basin, essentially a basin, like a wash basin, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just a big bowl
Big
at
bowl.
the top end of a canyon drainage.
Mm-hmm.
And that depression is going to hold the best feed and the best water.
Yeah, kind of flattens out water
how it
typically.
works.
Yeah, there's a lot of different shapes to them. Like you're talking about the V ones earlier. You got actually ones that, you know, like Mark Livesay says, like a spoon basin, skinny
Yeah.
on the bottom. It actually bows out to like a bowl. Or
Mhm.
like if you look at a spoon, you know, hold the silverware
Mm-hmm.
out in front of you. But yeah, the way they're shaped, like you said, it could hold different water, it could hold different meadow, it could hold actually ponds if it's actually a wide basin compared to something bigger. But
Typically holds very good topography for hunting as well.
Mhm.
Like typically in there's those undulations and breaks. Makes for really good hunting if you do catch animals in a basin.
and the nice thing I like too about some basins is it gives you all sorts of different. You might have a north slope, might have a west slope, you might have different. You know, from one glassing point, you just move a little bit, you can see a lot of different aspects of the
Yeah.
mountain.
Yeah. So basically, we're talking places to find animals: benches, basins, saddles.
Yep.
What else
Ridge
is on
lines.
ridge lines?
Ridge lines.
Ridge lines are typically great, but those are like, if you look at a topographic map or any map, I get, even if you're looking at aerial imagery or hybrid, those are kind of the ones that are the first and foremost that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for basins, ridge lines, saddles.
I always love those, even though it's not like a true definition, but those like little finger ridges that are coming off other ridges, like as you're going down, because that'll open up little small pockets
Yep.
that sometimes can hold a big old buck in them.
Mm-hmm.
Or a stone sheep.
Oh,
Do you call that a draw?
I don't know.
I call
Here's a
finger
fun
ridges.
Finger
little,
ridge, finger
here's,
ridge, and
here's
it's
a
a
fun little game we'll play real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, we've used a bunch of different terminology when we've been talking. I've just been listening. Canyons,
Yep.
drainages,
Mm-hmm.
draws,
Yep.
arroyo.
Yep.
You ever use that one?
Only
No.
if I'm in the desert.
Okay, so that's good. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Coulee,
coolies, yeah.
yeah, basins. So a bunch of different terminology. What's the difference between, say, a valley and a canyon?
Canyon to me would be bigger, like the Grand Canyon.
Steeper, narrower bottom.
Yeah.
Steeper and narrower.
Do you ever use the
valley
word
would be bigger
a
and
valley?
wider.
Yeah, broader. But I don't think people generally. I never
No.
use the word valley when I'm hunting. It's always
Valley's
a
like
canyon.
more like a
Yeah.
hippie granola hiker. Like, I'm going to go check out this valley.
Valley makes me think of like I don't know, Little House on the Prairie or something. It's just
Yeah.
like I don't think of valleys ever, but generally, yeah, valleys are more broad. What about a drainage? Is it interchangeable with canyon?
Yeah.
You use it
I'd
interchangeably.
probably use drainage more than canyon. Like, I'm going to go check out that drainage over there. Like, you know, the drainage on the next side looks like it could be great because it goes off and gets me different aspects to glass.
I mean,
into.
I would consider a drainage of like something that comes off of a basin. You know what I mean? Instead of just like a canyon that runs to the top.
See, I look at a drainage as like, if you think about a drainage almost interchangeable with the word watershed. So it's
Yeah.
like where all the water from
Would
any
funnel
given
into.
would funnel into. And to me, I think of a canyon as being like a singular feature. So you have a canyon, it's a singular
Yeah.
V bottom. Whereas I think of a drainage being like a larger landscape
So-
where you might have multiple canyons within a drainage.
Yeah, so multiple
Yeah, that's a
canyons
good
are
way
going to
to
feed
put
into a drainage.
Feed into a drainage.
That's a good
Yeah.
way to put it.
That's a good one.
Do you think about that?
Yeah, well, yeah. That's why I was like, a drainage for me, I was going with the basin, like potentially water runoff as a
Gotcha.
drainage. You said it much more eloquently
What
than I
about
did.
what about a draw? What would you call a draw?
Draw can be so many different
Small.
things.
Smaller?
Small,
Yeah.
yeah. Draws are real small. Like a draw for me is like bow shooting. Like he's in that draw. Like,
Oh, gotcha.
I could
that's
see
in bow
draw and coulee being interchanged in
Yeah.
some of that country too. Like, hey, I'm going to go down this draw or I'm going to go down that coulee. Depends on
Yeah, one thing I read that kind of made sense to me is the difference between a draw is that typically a draw runs perpendicular to a reg line.
They definitely don't use it for that. Mine just means smaller.
You just means a smaller depression.
Yes.
What about an arroyo? Same as a draw?
That's desert. No, that's like low, like where water would be in the desert, like where it would flow in the desert.
Have you ever said, I'm going to go check out this arroyo?
I never have, but
I've never been to a place to say it.
Yeah,
in Mexico, yeah.
Typically used in the Southwest.
Mexico is where I always hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, small to medium sized, steep sided, ephemeral streams typically.
Yeah.
So you guys know ephemeral and perennial?
Perennials every year, ephemerals every now
Hit and miss. Yeah, after a rainstorm. What about a coulee? You ever use the word coulee?
That just reminds me of Montana.
Really?
That's straight Montana.
Do they use coulee in Montana?
It was a culture shock for me when I was up there hunting with my friends from up there and they started using coulee. I'm like, what the fuck is a coulee?
So what the fuck is a coulee?
Yeah. What I would consider like a draw or like a small cut is what they kept calling a coulee. I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. What does that mean?
Yeah, small to medium sized valley, same thing. It's like interchangeable between a draw, but for some reason it's like
it's a northern thing.
A regional, yeah, Midwest.
They never said draw. They always said coulee.
I think
and
a lot
it took
of times
me a while to
people say
catch on.
coulee in a lot of areas where either water or old rivers from way back in the day have torn apart the landscape to like break it down, and it's like maybe it's just low country areas where they say coulee because water comes down, creates a little valley, creates a draw that now we just call it coulee. I don't know.
Typically dry, intermittently water flowing through sizable rainstorms.
Okay, so
you're pretty right.
A draw.
Yeah, me too.
In the south, that's a draw. When I went up, it's
a wash.
I think it's a
same thing.
I honestly think it's a north-south thing.
Yeah, me too.
Did you want to throw in a big curveball?
Yeah.
So a lot of years in a row, probably like 8 years, it took my dad, always to a certain state and we hunt mule deer, and his friends from Virginia come out. So I have some southern folk coming on a Montana, I said it's state, Montana deer hunt.
He's off his game.
We got him so twisted, he's giving his secrets.
So many lies. I can't keep the lies straight.
That's why you just tell the truth. I've told you this before.
Yeah.
The easiest way to do this is just tell the truth because people assume you're lying anyway.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to keep track of it.
I feel so deflated. I swore earlier on the podcast. State. I apologize for swearing. I apologize for saying a state.
I think you're just emotional from losing the argument that
I
we
think
started
so
with.
too.
Maybe it's because I'm wearing a hood.
Yeah, just feeling just bad.
He's flustered.
And so when I took them out there, they're like, what was I going to say now? I'm so lost.
Something
Oh, Virginia?
Cooley,
Virginia guys. They're like, let's go check out that holler.
Oh, yeah, holler.
I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? A holler? Like, yeah, let's go over there and check out the holler. I'm like, you mean a coulee? You mean a draw?
They call it a holler?
A holler. Like, I'm like, so explain this to me. It's like, oh yeah, you're not glassing, but like when we were over there calling turkeys, they're like, oh yeah, where'd that turkey go? I was like, oh, he's down that holler. I'm like, so you mean down on the bottom? Why don't you just say down on the bottom? So
is
go down the holler.
It's the same then? That's
I think
interchangeable?
it's I asked him, he did explain to me, I'm
thing.
probably butchering it for everyone from the southeast, but he's like, yeah, it's basically the same thing as a draw, a coulee, a small
It's
little.
cultural. It's coulee up north, holler to the east. And
I think it's just maybe maybe
us.
the true definition is probably like a thick timbered draw on the east coast. Yeah.
A holler.
Holler.
It's fun to say.
sounds cool.
Do you guys ever use vegetation like topo? Do you put weight into that? But so if you're looking at a topo map, you've got areas that are open, they're white,
Yep.
and then you've got green areas. Do you put any weight into that, or do you pretty much just go back to aerial?
I do a little bit if I'm just trying to navigate down a cliff band. And I know I'm looking at it really quickly and I'm already on the topo. I'm like, well, white's going to be usually cliffs and rocks. The green's going to be some vegetation. So green's probably a little bit safer for me to go down than the white. But it's not a full rule or whatever. I wouldn't say it's 100% true all the time. So that's why satellite would be a little better for that situation.
Yeah, I don't put a ton of weight into it. Just because what if it's a burn or what if it's, beetle kill? Doesn't mean it's canopy.
But I do appreciate seeing it on a topo map for sure.
I think it does give you bigger perspective.
Yeah.
And I know that we put in our new topo map, we put quite a bit of
effort into
making that more accurate representation.
And then the nice thing is too about that, if landscapes do change all the time. So the old USGS topo maps, and I can bash USGS because I used to work for USGS, so they just don't update things all the time. So we have the ability to go in and update our custom GOHUNT topo map. to remove if vegetation's starting to grow out in certain areas. Landscape's changing, the white to green contrast. We can actually go in there and change certain areas over time. Whenever it changes, whether it's a landslide, whether a big burn moves through
region.
there. Yeah, we can go in there and do that, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. This is like another just a duh moment, but you're looking at a topo map and you're looking specifically at vegetation. So you could kind of have some sort of idea of what the vegetation looks like. So something I'd read that I just hadn't really put much thought into. So solid green in an area is typically covered by tall vegetation, aka forest. Like you're looking at canopy, forested areas. And if you're looking at a topo map, you kind of have a better idea of what's alpine and what's potentially like desert sagebrush country just based on looking at peaks, summits, valleys. So like if you're looking at a topo, white area, flat area, essentially open vegetation, up around a peak, you're looking at alpine vegetation, open meadow type areas. Versus like if you're looking at lowland country and it's open, you could expect to see more, sagebrush, grassland, that kind of thing. And that's just like another one that's like a duh moment for me. But I'm like, oh yeah, I could see that. You can kind of have a better idea based on what kind of vegetation you might expect by just looking at a topo and where the peaks and summits and valleys are, which is again kind of a no-brainer. But do you guys use water much? You put much emphasis? You look at topo maps, water, creeks, streams, lakes?
For me, it's mainly for myself. Just where can I potentially get water?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a spring there? Is there a stream? But a lot of times, again, we're talking about, is that stream, does it sub out?
Yeah.
Streams, a lot of times you can look at them, they might go all the way up to the top of a mountain, but you got to realize that's just mapped on there. You don't know exactly when that stream starts. So as you're going up, you might have a spot where it subs out, which is basically just going underneath the ground, and it's going to come out again down below. So I think of streams for, like I said, just for myself. Ponds, I might be able to get water out of it. I don't put a lot of emphasis into finding it for mule deer in the places I hunt. Obviously, if you're hunting some dry desert areas, sure, finding those ponds or creek beds or whatever else might be beneficial.
I will say that when you look at a topographic map versus an aerial imagery, this is like one situation where I might give an advantage to topo.
Oh, here we go.
Because typically springs, seeps, ponds, creeks, streams, those are super identifiable on a topo map because they're highlighted in blue.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, you can see them. And a spring is typically, you've got a little blue icon there with a little,
little blue dot.
Whereas if you're looking at on aerial imagery, a lot of times you can't see it because you don't have enough detail.
Mm-hmm. So you won't see it on the hybrid either.
But I do think that there is a specific use case for finding water sources because and it may or may not be there all the time depending on the kind of water year you're having. You might show up to an area that's got a spring on it or something, and it may not be active based on the type of water year it's having. But I think it's a lot easier to kind of check those off if you're going out across the landscape. You're like, oh, I'm looking at topo, says there's a spring up ahead. It's worth going and checking out because a lot of times you can't see them on an aerial image.
And that's what's good too about our topo, because those streams that may or may not be present during the time of year that you're going there, compared to like a creek, is going to be a solid blue line. Where those ones that, go in and out depending on the seasonality of the year, like those are going to be dashed lines. To usually tell if creek, I won't say definite, but like a high likelihood, very high likelihood.
I got a story for you on exactly this.
I think it's a crick, though, just saying.
A crick. That's north to south, too.
I do like that.
In New Mexico, it was a oddly dry year.
Really?
And when it was hard to find water.
Really?
Yeah, we were having an issue finding water. And what I found to be our best case was all those dashed streams that were coming up from drainages and draws that would feed down into a meadow bottom where it was showing as a creek. I'm like, okay, well, all these streams are dry, but there's definitely groundwater still, right? Like underneath the groundwater. So we would drop off to where at the bottom end of where all those streams would feed into a creek, and we would go down into the bottom below all of those. We would actually find a little bit of water.
Gotcha.
It helped us quite a bit doing that.
I also think topo is really handy in navigating trails. So let's say you've got a trail, it's going into an area. It's hard if you're looking at that trail overlaid on aerial imagery to understand elevation gain or loss. But you throw that on a topo, it's pretty easy to look at it.
And understand what you're about to get into.
If you're going up or down.
Yeah. Do you ever do something? I do it all the time. I wonder if you guys do. Like I always look at what elevation line I'm at. And I look at the ones above. I'm like, okay, I have
guarantee you every
800 feet to
hunter
go. All right, I can do this. How many pushes is it going to take? And I do it, and I'm like, oh shit, I only went like 100 feet. Like, damn, I got so much further to go. But I use that as like a judgment to like, all right, I got to push to the next, next big line. I got to get there, and I like just try to motivate myself by constantly pushing myself up the mountain.
Yes.
I've had at times where been like in a real suck fest, you know what I mean? And you're standing on a line, on a contour line, you're looking at it on your map, and you're looking at the next one up, and you're like, okay, that one's 40 feet. I'm gonna count 40 steps, and I'm gonna go uphill 40 steps and pull out my map again and just check it just to see the progress you're making. I've definitely been there. Yeah, or 100 or 200 or whatever it is. I count them off. The older I've gotten to like, sometimes this really sucks. You got a heavy pack on your back, fully loaded. Like this elk hunt, I had a pretty significant climb like the last 2 miles, and it got to a point where I was like, my mind is just weighed down with how bad this sucks.
Yeah.
So I've got to think of something else. So I was counting steps. So I was counting steps. I'd count off 200 or 100 or whatever it is I thought I could do, and pull out my map and look at it and just see the progress I was making. So I definitely did that.
Yeah.
I think everybody does that.
Yeah, it's a good judge of how steep that terrain is. You can start feeling like how long it's going to take you, so the next day, like if I'm going to go back up here again.
Yeah, and when you're in that mindset, you know how sucky it is. Like when you get to that point, you're like,
when you're counting steps,
this
it's
is
bad.
really bad.
Yeah, I agree. Anything else, Topo, you want to talk about?
What are your use cases, Topo? Like we're getting into some late season stuff, or even just elk. I want to know elk in general because I got a hunt coming up. I heard about that I'm doing.
Yeah.
What?
Potentially. I guess I have an elk tag.
Yeah, we kind of talked a little bit about it. I really think your bread and butter, again, ridge lines. So late season, elk love deer too, I guess. They love a ridge line because it's easy travel, right? They're not going to be on the ridge line often. Like they'll be either side of the ridge line underneath it because they're not going to get skyline. But I think ridge lines are really good. I've done enough shed hunting back when I was a younger man to know that like postseason, elk love a big, long ridge line. It gets kind of exposed off. You get a little bit of snow. It gets some sun to it. Vegetation gets exposed. So they love a big, long ridge line. If you got a little mahogany on it late season, they like that. Saddles is one thing. And then, we've talked about flats, benches, those kinds of things. I mean, elk, you look at elk behavior, elk like that, flat to maybe 5 to 20 degree range as far as like bedding areas. So I'm often looking at Topo for flats. I'm looking for areas that they're going to bed on. So if you've got a slope, for example, and it's all above, it's steeper than that grade, but you've got a little bench, a pocket where you see those lines that are spread out across it, I'm thinking, likely bedding area.
This is way past archery season now because September's gone and over. But like, would you utilize some of that stuff to maybe
gross,
woof,
rub salt in your wound? But like you could use some of that stuff to be like, potentially it's on a north facing slope. I can see these little lines coming down. I can see it looks like it's benching out a little bit. Potentially there could be some wallows on that area.
If it's a bench on a north facing slope, it's good.
It's good.
It's good.
I don't know how else to say it. Yeah, that's a little hidey hole.
Okay.
Yeah, just
I
a
pick
little.
Up your stone down.
And if it's got a little seep or spring,
even better.
Even better. Yeah, and if it's old growth, you got plenty of shade, nearly full canopy cover. Like that's the bedroom. Yeah, you're looking at a bedroom. I use that a lot.
Even if like me, sometimes ridgelines too. I notice elk and deer that they just love to travel down them. Like during those late season hunts, it's easy.
Same for you.
Yeah, they like that when they're like in migration or moving from winter or higher up down to transition zone down to winter range. Like they're utilizing ridgelines because a lot of times there's not a lot of nasty vegetation they have to go through.
Well, you've got escape cover into another canyon or another valley.
Oh, so you're also interchangeable.
Canyon drainage.
But yeah, I mean, if you're in that top third of a ridge line, you've got feed. But should you have any kind of threat from below or anywhere, you can easily
just
bump up and over into the next one and be gone. So I always start. It was interesting. I had Cody Nelson on my podcast, the glassing guru, and I was talking to him about just like, what is he, as he's out looking at a landscape, like what are you looking at first? And it was interesting. Again, this is like one of those things I don't ever think about. I just sit down and I pull out my binos, my tripod, and I start to pick apart the landscape. And I'm not really thinking why I do what I do.
Yeah.
But it was interesting talking to him. He's like, before I even put my tripod out, I'm just like taking a quick scan of the landscape, and I'm looking for escape routes first. Like anything, did I bump anything? So I'm looking immediately at escape routes. Then I'm starting at the top, and I'm looking at like the top third, and then he sits down and he's starting to go, depending on what the topography looks like, he's going up, down, or, left to right. I know you like
Right to left.
But I would say those are all things that before you even get there, via your map, you should have a really good idea by the time you get to your glassing point where you should be glassing first. You should know where escape routes are.
Mm-hmm.
You should know.
That's a good point.
You should know the most likely area before you even get there based on looking at your map. These are the most likely areas I'm going to see game, and those are the ones you ought to go to first. Which I don't even think about. But
yeah, it does make sense. That's why I think it's good to like sit in your camp every night and literally go through your phone and look at everything you're about to go into, like you're saying.
You guys do that at night? Lay in bed and look at your maps?
lot.
Constantly.
A lot.
Yeah, me too.
Find out those plan B areas.
Yep. Or just like how to more efficiently hunt the area you were just in.
Exactly.
Like you liked it, but you didn't find the one or something like that.
It's
just,
there somewhere. How to
it's
reapproach
like, oh
it.
man, I liked what I saw. I'm definitely going back there tomorrow, but how can I do it better?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like just that re-up on information and just be more efficient.
Yeah, I think back when I was just hunting the one night, worked a herd of elk, probably 60 head, satellite bulls, 1/6 point. They kind of worked their way up a finger ridge and dipped up and over into the next canyon. And I made it to the top of the ridge. It got dark on me, but I could still hear those bulls bugling, and they were working into the canyon. And I'm like, I can't push them any further. I don't want to blow them out of the country. I want to be on them the next morning. So I dropped off the face, found a little flat spot again. I mean, it's dark, so I'm looking at my map. Okay, this looks flat. You walk down there, find a nice place to camp, eat, get everything set up, climb in the tent, and I'm pulling out the map, and I'm looking at that next canyon. And I'm looking the next day, like, where is the most likely option for those elk to be the next day? And if they're not there, where did they go?
Yep.
Well, there's a saddle here. They probably popped over into there. Or maybe they went down the end of the ridge. And if they did, what's the next canyon look like?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, those are all little advantages that
You have a game plan for the next day.
we never had, but now you do.
Yeah, we really do. Being able to bounce from satellite to topo, hybrid.
Yeah.
I said hybrid, like I said podcast.
Yeah.
It's just the best, man. Hybrid's the best.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is, like, you have so many options out there. And that's why I think you should be pulling out your phone all the time. Like I always talk about dropping waypoints, but the same thing, analyzing the terrain. Analyzing how you can get to that spot, analyzing where you can glass from, analyzing all the ridge lines, camp spots.
I think that using maps, both pre-scouting, scouting, and then while you're out in the field, I don't ever really look at it as like a skill set, but I think it's as much a skill set as anything.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think the more time you put into it and the more you record, the more data you're taking in as you're out there, and then you're incorporating that into making a plan for the next day or the next week or whatever it is. Like, that in itself is a big skill set, and I don't think about it a lot, but I think it's probably yielded more towards my success than anything else, to be honest.
The name of what you're doing is efficiency.
Yeah.
And that's the name of what you're doing, and being more efficient is going to lead to a lot more opportunities.
And if you know just a little bit about animal biology, about the animals you're hunting, and you start to analyze that terrain, well, now you're putting more pieces of the puzzle together. I've always said, like, you can look at a map and find animals. I think it's very hard to look at a map and say you're going to kill a giant right from there, because giants don't live under every tree. But I guarantee you probably find some deer. You might find some elk in that country. So you can use maps to easily pinpoint where wildlife is going to be. But then finding one that you want to, press the trigger on, that's going to be a little bit difficult.
Press the trigger. Can't you just say
So
pull
true
the
to
trigger just for that? Just for
for
that
that sentence.
scenario? I mean, it sounds so much better. Pull the trigger.
Movie hunting ducks.
Do they pull the trigger in duck hunting?
Hey,
And
we're
they press
shooting
it in
skeet,
rifle hunting?
pull, and then you yank that trigger.
Oh, okay.
I
I
hope.
don't
to
want to
shit
throw
on the
bad
duck
thoughts in my
hunters.
head. I just want to keep saying things correctly, so it's just a natural instinct.
You did roll right. Did you have to think about that when you just said that?
No.
You didn't. You just naturally went to press the trigger.
trigger, yeah.
You've converted.
He's fully converted.
You're fully in.
I think slowly I'm trying to convert you, Trail. to
Really?
Press. Yeah. Every time
I'm
I
trying
say
to
it,
convert you.
every time I say it, you do.
I got a book you need to read.
All right. Just kidding.
It's about archery ballistics or archery flight, whatever you want to call it.
I
Yeah,
was
they
going
have an
somewhere else.
arrow demystified book because it'd be kind of good. If they do.
Mystical fly of the arrow.
Ooh, Ted Nugent.
He's a man.
What a
Anything
legend.
else? I mean, that one's a super long one. I guess we're an hour and 18 minutes or
Something like
Into
that.
it.
It's a good discussion. Like I said, like I think it's easier for maybe some of us because we used to use topo maps, like paper topo maps back in the day, so we understand how all this stuff means because we're so used to it. But I think a lot of new people getting into it, hunting out west, it's it's intimidating to look at a map and like what features do you look for? How do you navigate a mountain safely? But like once you start putting together the pieces of the puzzle, defining what's a ridgeline, saddle, bench, all that stuff is going to point you in the right direction to find animals, but also be safe and navigate it and get your animal out of there, hike out through the dark safely. Like you need to learn how to read a map and to utilize a map.
Well, and like Trail said in the beginning of this, I don't think you can argue it. It is single-handedly the single biggest proponent to killing more animals is having
that's
this in your hand. The
that's the
data
thing.
collection,
Yeah.
the efficiency gain, the knowledge gain, like being able to switch between all the different base maps to like hone in on how you want to get to an animal, where the animal is, like your bull elk or your bull moose and your bull elk. Like it is single-handedly the most important thing to killing.
And that's the thing I wanted to, and that's the reason I thought maybe we should talk about it. Is it's like we can do gear podcasts; they'll get a ton of listens.
Yeah.
People will talk gear until they're just
Blue in the face.
Blue in the face. You can talk working out. You can talk shooting a rifle. You can talk shooting a bow. I mean, you can talk all these different skill sets, and like maps and using maps isn't super sexy,
No, it's not.
but yet
It's the number one.
It's the number one thing I would say to being effective.
Yeah, I know we talked about before. When I go on some rants, it's like everyone knows how many, like you just touched on, how many hours a week do you shoot your bow? How many hours a week do you run? How many miles do you cover? But you ever sit down and think like, how many hours did you e-scout?
No, I don't.
No.
I should.
You should. There should be a thing, but it's not sexy to talk about. It's
Yeah.
not sexy to post on the gram. Oh yeah, I've been e-scouting for 3 hours tonight. No. It's sexy to be like, I covered 6.5 miles on a run.
Okay, will you
I crushed-
post? Will you like? As you said that,
Start changing the game
I picture
here.
Brady in like a Hugh Hefner robe, and he's on his couch.
Yes.
He's got a bowl of chips, and he's watching the game maybe in the background. He's just got he's got his laptop out, and he's
That's the
e-scouting.
Brady I know,
and
right
he,
there.
And he puts that on the gram.
It's opposite of that. It's
What's sexier than that?
Not much.
it's the laptop
All
casted to the big screen TV e-scout.
There you go.
Robe though?
I don't have a robe. Do you think I need to get a robe?
smoking
I don't have
jacket?
a robe either.
People still wear robes?
Jacket.
And a pipe. I can see that for you.
I don't get the robe thing.
That's not too bad.
What?
Maybe that's a new ad.
A new robe thing?
Yeah, if you want to market maps, that's the picture right
The
there.
robe,
Brady
yeah,
in
we
a
can market it
smoking
that way for
jacket
sure.
With a pipe.
Sitting down on my couch, smoking
Yeah,
on my pipe.
with Topo projected onto the big screen.
I like how you said topo, not hybrid.
Oh, here we go.
I mean,
Now it's semantics. Let's get in an argument.
But no, I think I love that conversation we had earlier. I just want to touch on that again. Like, yeah, I see why people love hybrid. I see why, we have so many people talking about hybrid. There's a use case for it. I'll give you that.
Thanks.
So if you want a little win from me, I'll
Thanks,
give you
man.
this one.
Thanks,
right
man.
now.
Appreciate it.
You guys went through my rant. You went through a couple of me swearing.
Couple times actually.
yeah, you got hot.
I get passionate every now and then about certain things in life. Mule deer, maps, and rifles.
There are people. Porter's one of them too. It's fun
Oh,
to
man.
push his buttons a little
It
bit,
is.
get him going, get him hot and bothered.
Yeah, it's the best.
What's it? He's not here.
The thing is he tones it down on the podcast so much, and I told him that last time.
Yeah, he gets.
Like on the critiquing one.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to like get him going, and trying to, but he backs off on the podcast so bad. Out there, if you ever press him on something, he will fly off the handlebars, and he's so fun to like get in those.
Yeah, he'll dive into his boots more, dive into his
just go
underking
crazy.
technology, his layers.
But on
yeah.
the podcast, he'll just be like, "Oh, you're right."
You
It's
got
like,
stage
no,
fright.
dude, you have never told me that. That's like I'm telling you these things and pressing you to get those out there responses, and it never happens in here.
Yeah.
Is that
You're
that
100%
true?
right.
I was trying so hard to
100%.
like
Get him going.
That's why we were poking him a little bit.
yeah. I wasn't trying to like
I'm not trying to be a
beat him
dick.
down or anything. I was trying to like poke him so he would come back with his usual responses,
Yeah.
and he just doesn't do it on the podcast.
The cool thing is, you guys read all those comments we got from that episode?
Yeah, that
People
was
love
good.
that format a lot.
We gotta
Like, people
fix
said it's a
sound.
game changer. Like, they've watched gear lists from us forever. Other companies do gear lists, whatever. But like, that was a cool format to be able to talk about. Have someone go through their gear and have other people critique it. Yeah, we don't always have to be to poke the bear, but it was
We were
fun.
trying.
We were trying to poke the
That
bear.
was
and
kind of
Porter.
an outer personality one, just to try to get him going, which he didn't do.
Yeah, but I would love to have someone sit there when I do my gear list.
Yeah.
There's probably things I'm not thinking of this at the moment, or I packed something wrong
Yeah.
for the environment or the weather. So like, it was
Toilet paper.
what?
Way too little toilet paper.
No. I love some-
Actually, did you see the one comment where
the Tajikistan thing.
Yeah.
It's like coming
Did
from
we
the
all
guy who
forget?
had to use
Yeah.
his hand to shit. It's like, well, yeah, that was some elevation pills, and I even laughed at the guy's comment. Like, I still laugh at that to this day.
you had too little toilet paper?
Well, I was going back to a base camp every night, so I didn't have to just have my 1 ounce of toilet paper. I actually had a lot of toilet paper every single day, but
You just ran through it.
just ran through it. And I was,
Yeah, so we
I can't
can't
communicate.
trust you.
I can't speak the language, so I didn't know how to ask for like, hey, you got some toilet paper on you? I just figured to be a man, use your hand. You know, isn't that the saying they still
No,
use?
Brady, no.
It's got to be a symbol you can come up with for that. So you can
There's an international
you can
sign language.
pantomime that out. I'm
yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but no, I'm looking forward to doing more of those.
Anyway, drop us questions. You got questions? I would love to hear questions. If you got like specific map questions,
Yeah.
why we do things, or what's a good way to do something different and use maps.
Yeah,
Try-
we'll let people know. Like, we're doing a bunch of written content right
Yeah.
now about mapping again. Like some
Yeah.
more, I wouldn't say it's basic information, but we're just kind of going through and explaining some different features. How, not just explaining, but also give, like we did in here, reasons how we're doing for specific species. Like how I would use a topo map for mule deer, how you would use it satellite or hybrid or topo for elk. Like giving that information out there, so people can help. So we're gonna have a big library of additional maps content on the GOHUNT website. So
Cool.
check all that out. And I always drop comments there too. Like
Yeah.
I read a lot of those comments and I'm responding. Renzo jumps in. Trail, you jump in a lot. Like on your stuff you write. So
Cool.
check those articles out.
Good deal. Use maps.
Use maps. Use promo code podcast.
Podcast.
How'd I say it earlier?
Podcast.
Podcast, huh?
I'm still waiting for the Minnesotan.
I know to
I
come
lost
out.
it, man. I lost my accent a long time
Oh,
ago.
you got an accent?
Was
for
it
Minnesota?
Floridian?
Minnesota. Podcast.
Isn't it funny how that changes?
Mm-hmm.
Like, then you go over to New York and you're like, what are you saying? But I can't understand you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about trying it there, but then
Boston, even. Like, how did that happen?
Boston podcast.
Yeah, like,
a
how did
podcast.
that accent happen?
Use a hunting podcast.
But I'm generally excited to use some of these topics we discussed because when this goes out, I'll be elk hunting.
That's right.
And you're gonna fall in love.
Pressure's on.
You're gonna have the little hearts in your eyes. You're just gonna fall in love. You're gonna see the animal on the mountain. You're gonna be like, "Yep, this is it. This is
Really?
I've
this
made
is
it.
it.
Could be a
I've
turning
made
point,
it. Now
huh?
I know. Like
I've
now,
made it.
I understand. It's gonna be an enlightening moment for you.
I've been
be
in elk
sta-
hunts before.
You'll be standing over a giant bull with hybrid maps pulled up. And be like,
I get
I
it.
get it.
I get what Trail was meaning
I
about
get
hybrid.
it.
I get what he was meaning about elk.
I get it. He's not just old; he's also wise. It turns out.
Man, I'll have to burn all my elk points again next year in all these other states, huh?
Yeah.
You're an elk
Going?
hunter. You're already becoming one. You have fallen in love with the process.
Oh gosh,
Yes.
you guys are tearing at my
We-
heart.
We
It's
see it
true.
on them.
I do. I mean, you could try to fight it.
Yeah.
You're a Star Wars guy. You can't fight it. Eventually, you're going back to the dark side.
That's why I wore the hood today because I am kind of moving to the dark side. Having an
Darth
elk tag.
Vader. There you go.
No, this is the light side, man. This is where the light is.
Oh,
You will
really?
see the light.
Han Solo. All right.
Saying.
Anything else? We good?
I think we're
We
good.
out?
We out. I
Okay.
gotta get some work done. Get packed.
Cool.
I'm literally leaving in a couple days.
Yep.
So jealous.
Good luck. We'll report back. We'll have a bunch of hunt stories coming up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I want to touch on too. Like we haven't done hunt stories in quite a while. Like your elk, I want to do your stone, my moose.
And then your elk.
Oh, my elk too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we'll wait for.
Cool.
We'll get them rolling.
So look forward to those
Yeah.
next month.
Peace.
Yeah.